Hey everybody, welcome back. It has been 10 years. We're pretty close to 10 years since I started the process of making this channel that you are hopefully enjoying right now. I hope anyway. That's kind of been the whole goal of it. Starting back in 2013, around this time of year was when I first started going through all of the steps of figuring out the game collection, my logo, my channel name, going through everything and putting together a little studio space for the very first time that I could actually use to start making videos. I didn't really prepare anything to say about this, except I figured it's been about 10 years. And I think it's been a little while since I've done my usual way of celebrating, which is with a big old game room studio tour. I've been making some changes, I think, since the last time we did a studio tour. And a lot of people are really excited and curious about the studio, about the game room and stuff. I don't think I'm going to go into like every game that I have. I've done that in the past, but I've got well over like 700 right now. And it's a lot, but you know, I'll show you some shots of the shelves and stuff. I've just spent like the last 3 hours cleaning this place, cleaning the office and everything, because I'm kind of a mess when it comes to my creative processes. Like normally you'll see my desk and it's covered in all sorts of paints and glues and stuff, especially lately as I've been doing some prop making. So I'm very proud of the fact that it's nice and tidy and even dusted for you guys. The stuff I do to make you guys happy. But seriously, I hope that you enjoy this little tour. Okay, hopefully you can hear me okay here. So this is a view of the the station, the workstation where it all works. See, I told you I dusted, Swiffer pad and all. Got a slide out drawer, a mouse, you know, a little box opener, and got ourselves a little graphics tablet that I draw on during streams sometimes and do other cool stuff like art. And over here I have a teleprompter, or normally it would be a teleprompter. It's missing the iPad. It's currently charging right now. But then over here we have a couple of screens, and up here we have a top-down camera so that I can work on stuff down here and do that during streams, or just get different views of stuff if I'm doing like an unboxing. Extra lighting up here to help get a nice bright surface down here. And then over here I have this big old blinding light that sits right next to the camera. If I can get a view of, this is the camera I'm using right now. It normally just sits right up there on that little mount. There's my little pen. Got a Go XLR for my audio input and a Stream Deck rather, in order to switch scenes during, you know, OBS or hit point. And then I got a little rack, mostly a power distribution rack, and then up top I have this little audio processing unit that helps me out with all of my, you know, vocal processing on the fly. It just kind of offloads it from all of the, like OBS settings and stuff. I don't have to worry about them. I just set this and forget it. You know, got a little bit of a yeah, I guess it's almost 7 over here. And over here I've got a little HDMI matrix splitter thing that allows me to send different audio and video sources over to different inputs in my graphics cards. And that all feeds in to, they all kind of feed down into this box right there, which is where I route all my cables to my basement, where I have the actual computer and storage server and stuff. Welcome to what I call my server room. It is also a repair shop for audio equipment sometimes, or anything really. This is where I have my 3D printer set up and my regular printer set up, and coming down from the ceiling I have a bunch of cables and such that feeds into my desktop computer, which is where I have all of my capture cards and everything hooked in. It is a rat's nest for sure. And then down below that, I've got my modem and router. Well, not modem, but I've got my router set up and a switch. Battery backup that I put in place after a catastrophic failure. And right there, this IBM server, if you can see that, is full of several little SSDs that I record over a 10 gigabit network as I record a bunch of high quality video live as I live stream out on Twitch. Speaking of Twitch, I am actually starting Trails of Cold Steel 3, starting that tonight if you're seeing this on Monday. So make sure you come and hang out with us if you're interested in that sort of thing. This is actually a fairly new addition to my studio. This little cave here, adorned with little figures and stuff. This little studio booth actually is where I will be doing a lot of my vocal booth recordings. You know, I've got another audio processor down here, and you should now be able to see. There's my iPad. You know, it is currently charging and it's connected to this little interface, a little audio interface there. And right here I've got a different microphone here. That's a King B. You know, it's a pretty nice little microphone there for studio use. Speaking of, I never really talked about this other microphone that I have over here on this Elgato arm. This is a Synco Mic D2 for anybody who wants to know or cares about that sort of thing. Hooked up to my little Elgato low profile arm that I've extended because I have tried my best to streamline video making process as much as possible. And normally there would be a camera mounted right here, but like I said, right now it's currently in use as the overhead camera. But what I plan to do, and what I have been doing, I also have this, it was overheating, so I 3D printed this this bracket to hold this fan, so it blows on the camera. It's nice and quiet because it's, of course, a Noctua fan. Anyways, so what I do sometimes is I swing this out, I swing that out, and then I can bring the microphone over around all the way over here, and I have a little preview monitor so I can see what is currently recording. It's kind of a pain to set up and move around to demonstrate right now, but I think you probably get the idea. It's overkill for what I do, but I just like being lazy, and it really beats the whole rearranging the whole apartment that I used to do back when I lived in Seattle. Back up over here, I've got a couple of loud speakers that are pretty nice. Some Sony speakers. You can see that's me in a mirror. I got a couple games that are too big to fit on my shelves. Atlas, you're killing me with your big old collector's editions, but I also love them. So right here I've got my latest and greatest, I think, prop that I've made. This is Olivier's gun that I've made on a 3D printer, and well, a 3D printer, and some also practical things, like this is actual wood here for the wooden inlays on the handle, and yeah, just painted up to look really nice, I think. I'm very proud of the way that that came out. Don't fall. Don't fall. Okay. And then over here is my King Slime hat from Jimmy Hoppa, as well as a hi-fi stack. Here, if I can let in a little bit of light, you'll probably be able to see it a little bit better. Yep, just a little hi-fi stack, little mini disc player in there as well. That's just, you know, for my personal entertainment. But around here we have another little filming space that I like to use, which is in front of my Sony PVM and my music collection. You know, I got myself a little plush Lloyd Bannings, bunch of lights and stuff, because that's just the nature of filming anything. Lately I've been getting kind of into some of the more hipster forms of media, so cassette, mini disc, iPod. I feel like listening to music on my phone is over Bluetooth. It's just, I don't know. It's more distraction free if you don't have a music system that's constantly connected to things and always getting updates and texts and pings on Discord and stuff. So, yep. Then we have the big old wall of shelves. I'll just zoom out here a little bit so you can see a little bit better. It's I got their little stool where I sit when I talk to the teleprompter. That's probably a better view of my desk now, a little bit more zoomed out. And a big old light that is diffused that I use for a couple of settings. So lights are very important, I find. So I switch that on and I can sit down there in the stool and I can talk and have all of my games behind me, several dozen games, as well as a bunch of systems and little figures that line the top. Yeah, I'm very happy with the way that this all looks, especially on camera. The whole thing is really made to be functional as a filming set first and foremost. Honestly, I do most of my video gaming almost entirely from the comfort of this recliner that I have set up on casters. Let me tell you guys, if you have any need of a nice office chair, and I also have this little cycling thing here. If you ever have need of a nice office chair, the best office chair is a comfortable chair. So I've set this up. This was like a cheap recliner on Amazon with like the little wing backs. Put in a little lumbar support there. It reclines a little bit, and I put it up on these big old casters on a couple of sections of 2x4. It is by far the most comfortable gaming chair / office chair that I have ever had. So, pro tip, all those racing style chairs are garbage. Until one sponsors me. Actually, that's just kidding. I have been reached out to for sponsorships like that, and I actually just don't think I want one. So anyways, I do have a big old barrel here and a big old light, and here's the rest of the studio. So a lot of people ask a lot of questions about this studio, or people really love this set, and I feel like there's a lot of things that just kind of don't get captured in it, and that's okay. But like behind my shelving here, a lot of people think that I actually live in an actual mansion made of stone or something. Nope, that's just a very basic backdrop for like photography. I think it looks pretty good back behind the wooden shelving. Those wooden shelves came from Goodwill. This big ol' desk. It's actually a workbench that was made by my father-in-law. I dug it out of an old shed and just oiled it up, and have been continuing to do so, and I think it has that rustic charm that just makes it really nice. Some things down here is just storage for things that I might use in filming. Put it up on casters not all that terribly long ago. It's a controlled, cluttered mess, but I also really love it. It is a vibe to be back here. These stone pillars that I carved out of foam, I have a whole video kind of walking you through the process as I went through it, and carved them out of foam, slathered them up with some concrete mix, and then painted them down. That wooden wall, that wooden panel made out of reclaimed pallets and just stained. A lot of this is just, Goodwill finds, like this really cool globe that I've found. I figured I wanted to make this set kind of a tavern and item shop. I wanted to make it a mix of everything that I ever wanted. I wanted to be in an RPG, especially Chrono Cross. The very beginning of Chrono Cross had this really interesting setup with this little lamp here, and You know, it had all kinds of little trinkets and stuff around it, and this nice leather book, and I tried to recreate that a little bit in my review of Chrono Cross. Pieces that I have from when I made seals to make thank you letters for the people who supported my very first really bespoke merchandise through Switch Wicked. Dana Nash at Switch Wicked have just been absolutely awesome as far as people that I would recommend working for them. If you ever need a bunch of clothing made, if you have like a business and you want shirts made, reach out to Switch Wicked, guys. They are truly phenomenal at what they do. And I'm not just saying that so you can buy my merch. I mean, you could do that too, switchwicked.com, but honestly, just they're a small business and I like to support them because they are awesome. You know, back here, got that little grandfather clock, some fake foliage, and just some Goodwill finds, you know, the tonfa there, the the cheapo practice sword, and other boken. It's not a practice sword, but you know, I think it looks really cool. And back here I've got a bunch of packages that I'm waiting to open up. Got this little fake little wooden ladder that reminds me of old libraries where you would use the ladder to go up to the higher shelves and stuff. And over here, this is just a bunch of charging units, you know, and just stuff, flotsam and jetsam, you know, just stuff. It's almost like kit bashing, but things that I feel like would be right at home at an item shop or something, you know. So we got that abacus in the back, you know, to help you tally up gold, you know, some little potions back there, an Ollivander wand shop thing, you know, and also got this really cool little chessboard and compass. And here's another one of the props that I made for Trails in the Sky. This is an orbment that I'm pretty proud of, but you know, it could still use a little bit of work, I think. And then over here, this is a little holy symbol that I made for a D&D campaign. You know, I just like making things, and that's kind of what this is as well. If you're familiar with Trails of Cold Steel, that book's probably going to sound kind of familiar. Lots of little props that kind of don't get to be seen a whole heck of a lot. Things that were found by some family of mine, like this old just brass lockbox is cool as heck, but I can't figure out a way to actually put it to use. I have a little egg inside of a bird cage. It's like a big ol' it's supposed to be a dragon egg that I made out of clay. You know, just all kinds of really cool little things. Can't even see that little bust of a woman, and I gave her the little steampunk goggles because of course I would. Why wouldn't you? And that little crow, it's got the little stopwatch. If you've seen my Hype Responsibly t-shirt, you know, kind of takes homage there. And yeah, so I mean, I don't want to go into like a whole heck of a lot of depth as far as like what is all on these shelves. I think I just want to leave that up for everybody to discover on their own as I continue to make videos. And yeah, there's a poster that was sent to me, and a bunch of strategy guides. I love strategy guides. I rarely get opportunities to use them though. It feels like whenever I get strategy guides, it's always for games that I've already played through. This is The Office, you know, and I'm very proud of how it's been progressing. It's all been made to be as hyper-functional as possible, you know, within this relatively little space. You know, I've got these not even curtains in here. These are Producer's Choice sound blankets, and they're pulling double duty to help block out a lot of light and help control things so that you can't tell when I'm filming things if it's, you know, several days or you know, hours or weeks later. So this is the setup. This is everything. And I hope that you have enjoyed this little tour through my little slice of heaven. It is It is a vibe, but it is also a lot of work. Alright, well, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. It has been, I guess, 10 years in the making, huh? Well, hopefully we'll be going again for another 10 years, because honestly, this has changed my life, and it's been awesome, and an incredible experience just getting to know so many of you, and talking about RPGs with fellow enthusiasts, making incredible friends with people like David Vink and Alex from Backlog Battle, and so many that you know what, I should make another video just shouting people out. It has been that long, but I'm going to put some time into that one so I don't miss anybody. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode.